What's up, motherfuckers? This is the Peace Dealer. I really debated whether I should be a bit more classy, as I always should, but I just really want to let this video express my more authentic attitude and how much I just really don't give a crap about things. Nah, I'm just joking. Regardless, I wanted to make this quick announcement. I have changed my channel back to the Peace Dealer. Mystic Illuminations is still the brand. I'm still gonna have the dope ass readers. Did you see how quickly I have mad Scorpios in the cut? We got Nikki, we got Rad, we got Candace. The Peace Dealers stay recruiting the best readers in the world. It is what it is, but I'm gonna change the channel back to the Peace Dealer. I will have a website out called mysticilluminations.com. That's just more like for articles. My other website to get readings is back to thepeacedealer.com. So other than that, we about to get lit. Sorry, I just said that to excite you. But regardless, this is a special video. Okay, I'm going to call this video, It's Not Your Fault. You see, we have certain stereotypes that as representatives of zodiac signs, we have to face. And first of all, I'm going to still make a separate video about this, but you are not your zodiac sign. You just represent it. You're not Verizon. If you work at Verizon, if you work at any kind of place with an employer, you represent that employer. You aren't that company. All right, so you're not your zodiac sign. You represent the sun sign that you're aware of. If you're a sun in Scorpio, you're not Scorpio. You represent the awareness of Scorpio energy. You dig me? So keep that in mind. When I say it's not your fault, I'm talking directly to these energies. So it's gonna hear me talking shit. It's gonna hear me talking about that sign through you. All right, but just remember you're a representative for it. So you know what? It's not your fault. Let's get to it. Aries, it's not your fault, yo. It's not your fault that you're arrogant and selfish as hell, and you only look out for yourself. No one pays attention when you're selfless and look out for others. They only want to care about when you're selfish. And you know what, Aries? Life taught you at a young age that if you don't do it yourself, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. So it's not your fault you act the way you act. Church. Taurus, it's not your fault you're unreasonably judgmental. People are basic as hell. And you have given people the benefit of the doubt, and they did not meet up to your expectations, which they didn't even have to do in the first place, but still, it taught you that if you don't judge and place the right boundaries, you're gonna get screwed. It's not your fault, Taurus. If you're just super judgmental and just very stubborn, you have to be that way. This is what lets you produce our experiences, so it's not your fault. Gemini, it's not your fault that you just talk incessantly and you just say things over and over just to hear yourself talk. People don't even really listen to you, and when they do, they don't really get what the hell you're even saying. So this makes you just have to open up your mouth and say random words when you're half listening to people just to make them feel like you heard them, even though they probably know you didn't. It's not your fault, Gemini. If people weren't so dumb and actually accepted half of the crazy shit that comes out your mouth, you probably might be a little bit more quiet. Cancer, it is not your fault that you are helplessly emotionally manipulative. People don't give a damn about how you feel. You take time out your day to help people understand your emotions, and then they turn around and not give a single fuck or a goddamn. And if you have to manipulate the crap out of people's emotions just so you can do what you have to do, go ahead and do so. You're not Scorpio. Some of you be out here manipulating people's emotions to do better. So it's not your fault. If people actually cared about you, you wouldn't have to do this. Leo, it's not your fault you love yourself so much and you're just so vainglorious and you have swagger that shines like the sun. People are just so fucking boring. If people weren't goddamn boring and actually entertained themselves, you wouldn't have to steal the spotlight. People don't understand that you have to steal the spotlight because you don't stand for mediocrity and boringness. It's like the spotlight is calling your name and no one else hears it, and then they blame you for taking initiative. Maybe if people were actually entertaining instead of lame, you wouldn't have to do what you did. It is at this important and critical juncture, I would like to take a moment of silence for Virgo. Let's have a moment of silence. Okay, Virgo, I'm gonna make this one a little bit longer for you because you legit suffer. You legit suffer. It's not your fault that you are just such a critically anal neurotic dream crusher. That's appropriate. It's not your fault that you're just neurotic in hell and just overcritical. People are stupid. It's okay. If no one else will admit it, I have to. Because Gemini can deal with idiocy in people, but we're kind of dumb too, by choice, when we don't want to be smart. Virgo, you really have to deal with idiots. It's sad. I see your face. I see Joe Budden on Everyday Struggle. It's sad, okay? You have to deal with people who entertain mediocrity, and it's one thing you won't do. And so, you just become this dream killer, killing the dreams of idiots who don't even know how to form real sentences, and you just have to deal with such lameness in the form of mediocrity and just ignorance. It's not your fault, Virgo, that you walk around every day with a frown on your face, seeing how dumb people can be when they voice stupid ideas on social media or in front of your face, acting like you're gonna go along with the ride. Thank God I'm not a Virgo. Libra, it's not your fault that you're flaky, wishy-washy, and low-key fake sometimes. People, they're just not as cool as you. And this affects a whole lot of how you decide what you do. You have tried to be cool to people, and it's just, They quickly showed you how much charm they don't have like you do, okay? Maybe if people knew how to be in relationships like you do, this could be somewhat beneficial, but they don't. And you're the only one who feels left out. So, it's not your fault that you can just act brand new and just jump from friend to friend, which they would think Gemini does, but you'd actually be surprised. Maybe if people had a modicum of coolness and they actually knew how to balance themselves like you do, maybe you can show them your true charm and grace. Scorpio, it's not your fault that you hate everyone and everything. People suck, things suck too. You could almost say you're justified. I mean, the one time you actually try and care and give a damn, it usually backfires. And then the universe smacks you in the face like, why did you stop hating people? You're pure, so if you hate that which is impure, it makes sense. We all hate you too, it's all good. Sagittarius, it's not your fault that you're inherently blunt and super retarded. Things like this just happen when you're super magical and you see things that other people don't. It's not your fault that you just have this buku amount of passion and excitement that has all of us wondering what drugs you're on. Sagittarius, maybe if people lighten the hell up a bit and learn how to smile and be optimistic, we would probably see where you're coming from. I'm gonna forgive you for not sharing your drugs with us in the Gemini clan, but it's not your fault, Sagittarius, that you're just kind of cuckoo. You can say that we make you that way. Capricorn, it's not your fault that you take everything in life so goddamn seriously, to the point where you just kind of have lost faith in people getting things right or living with integrity. It's not your fault that you walk around all super boring and just distrusting of people, since in reality, like I said with Scorpio, they suck. They suck a lot. And it's not only that they suck, they're also useless too. See, I have the luxury of using very vague and general words, but we all know this is true. Maybe if people weren't useless, and maybe if people didn't suck, and maybe if people took things more seriously, you wouldn't have to be such an asshole. But it is what it is. Aquarius, it is not your fault that you were extremely narcissistic and arrogant. You know everything. Maybe if people actually knew something and could contribute to a conversation like you teach everyone else, you wouldn't have to be so narcissistic. Maybe if people understood just how cosmically extraordinary you were. Nah, you'd still be narcissistic, but it's not your fault. Pisces, it is not your fault that... Wait a minute. It is your fault. It is. I don't even know what is your fault for, but all the stuff that it's not the other sign's fault for, it's your fault too. Yeah. Did you see this coming, Pisces? It's all your fault. And that's where I'm going to end this video, Pisces. It's all your fault.